Hello again, it's me, Amy the Baker, and Mr. Bubs.
Hi.
Hi, back with another video. Yeah. I got a new tripod with that big Walmart order. Hi. I did the other day, so a bit of a higher angle. I could go even higher. I don't know. What do you guys think? I won't know until I'm editing back if this is good. I think it'll be better than the other one. Also, you can't see, but over here I got 2 new floating shelves. I'll put a picture. Dude. Today, I'm making cinnamon buns, and I'm gonna do something a little extra, make them ooey gooey supreme, hopefully, because for Easter, I had made, I made salted caramel sauce for apple crisp, and I still have a bunch left, so, once the cinnamon buns are fresh out of the oven, I'm going to pour the salted caramel sauce on top. 1 cup. Milk. Mama says, dude, what the heck? Love that. Leon, oh my god, that's butter. I'm going to a drag show later with my friend. It is an adult event in a separate portion of one of the pubs. It's not even in the main pub area. And people on Facebook are just up in such a tizzy about it because heaven forbid adults do what they want with their money. Hi. And they're like, what about the children? What about the children? Children aren't allowed in there. I don't really care about the people saying they won't go back or we shouldn't have this stuff in our town, whatever. You're allowed to have negative opinions about things. Nobody has to like everything. Nobody has to agree with everything that's going on. What I was against was there was this clearly fake profile threatening violence, saying they were gonna case the joint, we should invest in baseball bats and like crazy stuff like that. Chill, it's a drag show. These people claim, well, oh, it's like fetishized, sexual, all of these things. Okay, even if it is, what's the difference between that and a strip club, which is open 7 days a week? And also with the children argument, there are so many easier avenues to get access to children than being a drag queen. It's just such a silly argument to me because there is an argument to be had to protect children. I have a child. I'm passionate about this. I want children to be protected. Drag queens are not the issue. Yeah, I'm just like in a heated mood, especially because the election's coming up. By the time this video is out, the election will have happened. So I can see online that there's a very big push for conservatives. A lot of it is bots, but a lot of it is real people. And I mean, I don't know, it's scary. Scary times we're living in. I understand the corruption that is politics. There's no such thing as an honest politician. That being said, there is a certain set of standards that left-leaning parties have to follow, or else people won't vote for them, right? And that's just not the case with the conservatives. They can just say, we're gonna fix everything, and then show no feasible plan to actually do that, and people will still say, oh, well, they're gonna fix everything because they said so. Okay, I have way too many queer friends, queer family, and people of color in my life to ever vote conservative. I made more applesauce muffins for the baby group yesterday. I only did them for 12 minutes, so 6 and 6, and they turned out way better. That's another thing with the freaking the conservative voters is they just believe everything negative about the Liberals and the NDP and whatever guy they don't like. Anything negative they see, they're like, yup, that's the truth. And then they see something negative about the guy they do like, and they're like, either I don't care, I'm voting for him anyways, or I don't believe this. And there's just no nuance. Nuance is dead. Nuance has died and the internet killed it. So yeah, that has me stressing out because it also feels like a lose-lose situation. Like obviously one of the loses is less losery. One of the situations is the better outcome, obviously. In my opinion, the Liberals get into power in a minority government, so they have to work with other parties to get what they want. I think minority governments are great. Other people disagree, especially conservatives. They want a conservative majority, and I'm like, that would literally send this country into a downward spiral for the working class.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yes, lose-lose situation. Essentially, either the Liberals get in, and that gives the Conservatives however many more years to complain, or the Conservatives win, and obviously that's not a good outcome either. Thought I was out of sugar for a second, but we're good. I accidentally melted the butter a little bit, but it's fine. I'm gonna crack some eggs. Good job. Let's go wash our hands.
No climbing.
Dump, 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 dump. I dump the eggs in. We might have to add a little bit of flour. He had this morning and he was giving it a bunch of kisses, and then I was thinking about yesterday he was getting his Cookie Monster and his Elmo stuffies to kiss, and it was so sweet, it was so cute. And then this morning I was talking to my partner, having this realization that there are parents out there that would see their child doing that like so innocently. He's 1.5. He just loves Elmo, he loves Cookie Monster, and he's just being sweet by getting them to kiss. It means nothing. He's just being a sweet little guy. And there are parents out there, and this is so wild to me, who would stop their child doing that, get mad at them, be like, boys don't kiss, da-da-da-da-da, use it as a corrective measure. Okay, this needs more flour. Too sticky. And then also thinking those same parents are the ones on Facebook commenting about a drag show being dangerous for children, or like how drag queens are indoctrinating their children. Who's really indoctrinating their children here? Some people are so silly to me. Gotta beat that gluten. I don't know if I'll be back or not for the rolling out. Either way, don't you worry, don't you fret. This video is not over yet. I, Amy the Baker, will be back for the next part of this baking adventure right now. I'm back! I decided to come back to roll this out because shortly after I finished filming, I thought of a good analogy for everything that I was talking about. I was thinking about politics and why people have the opinions that they have and trust the people that they trust, even though if you know anything about history or politics, you know these people are lying. It's not even that the majority of liberal voters think that, in this case, Mark Carney is the end-all be-all of Canada and he'll fix everything and everything will be perfect under him. There are some people like that, obviously. Most of us understand the nature of politics, the nature of a global society, which, like it or not, we live in a global society. Most of us understand these things and can kind of separate our support of a party from support of every single thing the party does, which is not true from what I see with conservatives. It truly seems they think that Pierre Poilievre is going to get elected and then he's going to like snap his fingers and fix Canada overnight.
I tried to snap, my fingers are way too greasy.
And that's just not the case. And anyways, politicians lie. Like, we know this. So I'm thinking this after I'm finished filming, just trying to wrap my brain around why I'm able to understand these things as a 27-year-old. Hi. There are just people out there who just are genuinely, I don't want to say brainwashed, I don't know. And then my brain went, well, you're just smarter than them. And I had to say, well, no, I'm not smarter than these people, because obviously if you judge a fish by the way it can climb a tree, of course it's going to seem like an idiot. And then I started expanding on that in my head. Yes, if you judge a fish by the way it can climb a tree, it's going to seem stupid. And that would be fine and dandy if the fish then recognized, oh, I can't climb a tree, so I'm going to trust the monkey who can climb a tree. I'm going to trust their opinion on the best way to climb a tree. Instead, what we're seeing happen in modern debate on the internet, whether it's politics or anything, people having opinions on things they have no knowledge of. It's these fish who look at this other fish who is saying, I know the best way to climb a tree, and I've never climbed a tree in my life, but I can climb a tree. I know the best way to climb a tree. And they believe it because why would I trust a monkey when this fish is telling me that they know the best way to climb a tree? They're a fish. I'm a fish. Fish know better. Does that make sense? I mean, I haven't fully fledged out or written out the whole analogy to make it like eloquent and perfect, but I think it hits on what is happening with the death of modern day intellectualism. Everybody thinks they know the right answer. Nobody wants to be wrong. And instead of trusting experts in the field, they say, well, no, I'm going to trust this guy who I like, this guy who's like me. Obviously, he knows better. He's saying he knows better. So why wouldn't I trust him? We've lost the ability to discern experts from grifters.
No.
I think he can sense I'm worked up, and it's working him up as well. But yeah, look at that spiral. It's beautiful. These still have to proof one more time before going in the oven. I'm dreading turning on the oven because I'm already boiling hot. The things I do for a cinnamon bun. These look beautiful. I'm gonna get these proofing again, but don't you worry, don't you fret. This video's not over yet. I, Amy the Baker, will be back for a taste test. right now.
I'm back and I'm in my bedroom, which feels very strange. It's like 9 o'clock at night and I would have just done this out where I normally do it at the table, but he wants the cinnamon bun. Oh, I have a cinnamon bun. This is my cat kitten. Okay, let me take the first bite and then we can get back into ranting and rambling. Oh my god, it's so good. These are probably some of the best cinnamon buns I have ever made. And now I feel like it's illegal for me to make them any other way. I'm usually a cream cheese icing kind of girl, but what can I say? These are just really hitting. My nails are so busted. I went to a drag show last night and I painted them yesterday and then I worked this morning and had to wash dishes and stuff, so they're busted. So yeah, I went to a drag show last night. My friend and I ended up leaving during the intermission because it was already like 9:30. And I kind of wanted to stay because I never get to go out and I never get to get like dolled up and stuff. But then by the time I got home, I was like, going home was the right decision, especially because I had to work this morning. Yesterday was extremely busy, so I did not do any editing, but today I popped it into my app and it's like the angle is so far away. I look like this big. So I'm sorry about that. No, I did not do any test shoots. I just angled it the way that I normally do and figured I'd be in frame. I used to have the issue with my other tripod. My freaking forehead would be cut off if I didn't do it right. So this is different. And I would just put it on the floor, but then Leon will definitely knock it over and try to play with it. So live and learn. You know what's crazy about these? They're so good that you don't even have to save the middle bite to be the best bite because every bite is delicious. By the time this is out, the election in Canada will have happened. So that's totally fun and not stressful at all. It's really hard because I'm not the type of person who would typically want to tell people who to vote for. In our democratic society, it is our right to vote for who we truly think is the best candidate for the job. It's hard for me to sit here and say, well, you should vote liberal, because honestly, none of the parties are great. Like, the government isn't great. And the thing with the conservatives, they will say things aren't working and we're gonna fix it.
They're not gonna fix it.
Everybody can tell that things aren't great. Everybody can tell that the government is not working how it should be, that our taxes are not being spent properly. None of the parties in power will do anything about that because they all serve their corporate overlords, okay? These are so good. But if you can set aside which corporate overlords that we're all ruled by, essentially what you're voting for is civil rights, unfortunately. Humans are one of the most adaptable species. That's why we've been so successful, depending on how you view success. The issue that humans have, because we're so adaptable, we get used to things very quickly and we just forget what it was like. That's why there's vaccine skepticism. There are so many people in the world today who have never lived in a culture where vaccines didn't exist. They never lived in a culture where you had 6 kids because at least 2 of them were gonna die. And people aren't stupid in the sense of everybody has things that they're good at, but the general population is not educated, nor are they willing to recognize that they are not educated. And that's coming from someone, I never went to university, I never went to college. I might know aspects of things, I might have opinions on things, but if someone who actually knows what they're talking about is speaking, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. It's okay to be wrong. I don't even know how to wrap up all of the thoughts that happened in this video. So I suppose that will have to conclude the rant and ramble session at the end of the video here. Thank you for listening and hearing me out. If you made it this far, here's your gold star. Like the video if you liked the video. Comment down below if you enjoy raisins in your cinnamon buns. I personally think that that is a crime against humanity, but who am I to judge? Subscribe if you haven't done that already, and I'll be seeing you guys again in the next one. Peace. My mom made these gnomes, by the way. I just realized I didn't address it that whole time.